Frustration growing with how the state releases criminals from prison and an apparent lack of supervision while they're on parole. This week, state Republican leaders called on the governor to replace the parole board. It comes after the board approved the release of violent sex offenders under the state's elder parole law.
Public safety must always come first, and predators who admit that they're still attracted to children belong behind bars, not back in our community.
The call comes as Governor Newsom's administration is facing a potential lawsuit. The family of a 27-year-old woman killed in 2020 blames the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation for not doing its job to keep tabs on a man on parole. He's now accused of killing their daughter and another woman while driving under the influence. Now, a former CDCR employee is blowing the whistle. He says there's a toxic culture when it comes to people who are released from our state's prison system with potentially dangerous consequences.
We honestly had no idea what they were doing or how they were doing.
You weren't tracking people who were on parole?
I had GPS information and that's it.
And who told you to not do that?
My supervisors.
Disturbing allegations from a former state corrections parole officer.
As a sex offender agent, I had GPS tracking information, so I could see pretty much where they were at any given time. But beyond that, what they were doing at those moments, I have no idea.
Speaking to me under the agreement, we would conceal his identity. He talked about his 6 years with the parole unit based in San Francisco. He said the issue worsened during the pandemic when he says all work was done by phone.
It was literally, are you abiding by the law today? Yes? Fantastic. Whatever they told us is exactly what we would put in the system, is saying that they're okay.
It's that policy that Hiroko Abe says led to the death of her 27-year-old daughter, Hanako.
誠実で真摯でひたむき
You know, Hanako was a very honest person and kind and thoughtful.
Speaking to us from Japan through an interpreter, Abe talked about the driver charged with killing Hanako and another pedestrian in 2020. Prosecutors said Troy McAllister was speeding while under the influence of meth and alcohol when he ran a red light. This video from KTVU shows the scene. He was on parole with a criminal history that includes 9 felony convictions, including drug offenses, attempted carjacking, and robbery. The Abe family is now filing a government claim saying Daly City Police contacted CDCR 2 days before the crash. They wanted help finding McAllister to take him into custody for violating his parole. But the claim says the state refused.
Nothing can bring back their daughter. So they just want to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that if the parole division is supposed to be supervising parolees, let's make sure that's happening.
The claim includes this email reportedly from San Francisco parole supervisors telling agents not to assist other agencies.
My guess is that it gives that impression that rehabilitation is working, when in fact the complete opposite was happening. They were running amok.
The whistleblower says even though rules relaxed under COVID, arrest expectations never fully recovered, saying it could continue to lead to problems statewide.
They are not being properly supervised. I believe that's purposeful in nature, and unequivocally I will state that they are not safe. People are not safe at all. These parolees are left to rampage throughout the state, and more issues will occur that are similar in nature to, unfortunately, the incident that occurred in San Francisco.
We reached out to the governor's office and to CDCR for a comment. At the time we taped, we had not yet heard back from the governor's office. CDCR says it cannot comment on potential pending litigation, but the department's top priority is public safety.